Einu sinni. Já. Hello and welcome to Reykjavík Grapevine's Newscast. I am back, well and alive. My kids are also. I'll tell you a little bit about it later on. But first off, it's a really cold weather today. It's not actually on like the thermometers. It's not that cold. It's like 1 degree or 0 degrees. But with the wind, it's like it gets a little bit more chillier, and it's often like feels like -9 or something. So here we are. We are in Grafarvogi, by the way, and I wanted to tell you before we start about our Christmas box. It's an Icelandic Christmas goodies things and a branch of Christmas tree to get the scent of the Icelandic Christmas. And if you sign up with our newsletter before 3 o'clock tomorrow, 1500 in Icelandic time, you can actually, which is like November 12th, Friday, then you can actually win a prize if you answer this question. And I love this question because I had to think before I guessed the right answer. So here is the question. Which one of these is not the name of one of the 13 legendary Yule Lads? Is it A, Gluggagægir or window Peeper? I actually just call him the peeping Tom, but I mean, so it goes. Or is it B, Hurðaskellir, the door slammer? Or C, Kertasníkir, the candle bagger? Or D, Pönnusleikir, or the pan licker? I have to say, this is harder than you think. But also, in this box, I have to tell you also, I love this book here. This is Brian Pilkington. He's one of our absolute favorite artists in Iceland. And he makes fantastic drawings of our these folklore creatures. And the thing is about like the Yule Lads, they are of course weirdos, criminals, perverts even. But this guy here, this Yule cat, this is like a nightmare from Charles Dickens kind of a story. It's like a troll cat, and he's like on the size of a small house, and he actually only eats poor children. And keep in mind, all of these figures, they eat children in one or another way, or inflict violence to each other in some ways. We even have a Christmas song about it, where we are singing like their mother, Grilla, is sweeping the floor, and then she beats them senseless with her broom. So it's like we have a pretty grim Christmas traditions, but I love them. And if you want to win this, then sign up, basically. So on with the news. The reason, of course, I wasn't available for my last newscast was simply because COVID is going wild right now. My kid came home out of school on Monday, Italy, the youngest one, and he was sick all of a sudden, and also other kids in the class became sick, and not only that, but my girlfriend, she became sick also shortly after when he came home. And then the day after I became sick. Like I wasn't quite sick, but I had some symptoms that could have been COVID. And we were like, because COVID is going crazy, and we were like, oh my God, this could be it. We are of course all vaccinated, and we've been fine. Not been much COVID around us at least, but the COVID is actually going wild right now. And today is the third day that we are breaking records for the numbers of COVID cases. Yesterday, the day before yesterday, we had around 180 cases, but yesterday there were 200. And there is nothing that indicates other than these 200 cases will be even more tomorrow. Not only that, but of those 200 cases, 128 people are not in quarantine. I don't know if you remember, I was always telling this like months ago, that when you're looking at these COVID numbers, it doesn't really matter how many have COVID. It's always what matters is how many were not in quarantine when they were diagnosed, because that means that if I mean, I don't know much about the like these pandemic things, but the thing is that like every person that is not quarantined is probably transmitting the disease to at least 2 people. So 128 could be bad. This basically means that we are changing a lot of things. For example, of course, we are now with a gathering restriction of 500 people. It's not that bad actually in Iceland. Also, we have to use masks now all the time. It's not like bad either. Icelanders are more than fine with masks. It actually warms you up also. It's cold, so it's like a scarf or something. So this is pretty good. But we have 18 people at the hospital and 4 are in critical care. And this means that, well, to be honest, like how it been before, I think we are sadly going to see some deaths because of this wave, which is by far the biggest one. This is also like a little shock because when it comes to like the government, for example, they thought like, well, the Icelanders, this was kind of just over. They were thinking about going like taking these restrictions completely away. For example, the Danes have done the same. And there are some Scandinavian countries right there, and the government, like ministers in Iceland, they have even been like criticizing our epidemiologist Valur Grettisson for being like talking with like scare tactics and so on, which is a criticism that he did not deserve, and we know now that was like in my opinion. Every time a politician tries to use COVID in his political gains, it always backfires like incredibly harshly. It's like I can even like there are a few like small examples of this in Icelandic politics. None of them are very interesting, but it's hilarious how it always backfires. And we have the sun. It's noon today. This is as high as it goes, just above the houses here. This is my D vitamin like kind of moment, I guess. So we make the most of it. Also, if you want like hard numbers, we have 445.1 per 100,000 in COVID cases. This is incredibly high. All in all, we have 1,335 people that have gotten the virus since the beginning of the month. Which is 0.3% of all Icelanders. It's like just under 1 million in the US would have the virus in like one day, in like a few months, in a few weeks, sorry, which is perhaps the case, I have no idea, but US is perhaps not the best example here. But we are like, when it comes to these numbers, we are incredibly high, we are not in a good place. But perhaps the interesting thing is, because of the vaccination, I mean, this could be so much worse. But it's like there's not that many at the hospital for how many there are here. They have had often much more people at the hospital. So, and then to more tragic news. Chinese woman died at Reynisfjara. You know, Reynisfjara is the beautiful, huge black sand beach, and there were like tourists there, and yeah, it's like, I don't know, I mean, many of you have perhaps been there, but the people that haven't been there, this is a very mystical place in some ways. There are like huge waves there. Of course, the North Atlantic Ocean is nothing to travel with, and it's really easy to get swept away with these waves. I know it's like, perhaps if you haven't seen it, it's a bit hard to explain it, but it's like, it's very aggressive, the ocean, and you are able to go quite close to it, unknowingly that the wave can come over you and basically claim your life. This is exactly what happened to this young Chinese woman. All in all, there were 4 women that went into the ocean. This is the 4th death we have in this area since 2007. And I mean, I don't know, it's like, for example, like just to explain like how the situation is. I have been in this beach with my kids, and we have been like we thought we were like in a very like safe distance, but like the ocean still got us. You know, we got wet in our feet. I mean, we were safe enough that like the waves were not getting us, but it's like it's really hard to assess how these situations are often, and when the winds are strong, these waves can be, well, pretty dangerous. So it's like for people that are unexperienced from the Icelandic weather, and for example like from Asia or something like that, or hotter countries or something, this could be of course like come as a shock. Also, like the waters here are, of course, as you can imagine, quite cold, and just to get into the ocean is shock in itself. It's like you lose your breath. It's like being stung like with 1,000 small knives. I've been in the ocean in the winter, and it's like it is really painful if you do not know what you're expecting. So this woman died, sadly so. So now we have perhaps a national debate upon us. It's like what to do. We can't, I mean, there are a lot of signs there. This should not be unclear in that way, but perhaps it's not enough for people to understand the real danger there. One idea is just to have some kind of people there working like in shifts, just to like both like warn people, or in worst case scenario, literally just go into the ocean after the people. I would not want that job, to be honest. It's like, trust me, it's like nobody. It's like even your heart goes like on 1,000 beats. It's incredible when you go into the ocean. So I don't know, but we will see. That this just happened yesterday, and we're kind of gonna like, we don't know how the fallout of this will be, but I'm guessing that this will be a pretty hectic debate for the next days at least. And then another tragic accident. It's like, it was a black day yesterday, man. There was a man that died in a man died, and another is in a critical state after a collision of a scooter and like a motor scooter. Like, you know, like the electric scooter is a little bit different than these motor scooters. They can be everything, pretty like fast vehicles, like these Wasps or something like that, or Vespa. Yeah, they were like going. They were traveling in the morning, last morning, probably just to work, and they seemed to have collided, and someone came and found them. One of them was dead at the scene, and the other one was unconscious, and is now at the hospital. And it's like, it's tragic. This is the first time actually someone dies also on these on these scooters. We call it a RAV scooter, electric scooters, right? It's like the one that you rent downtown. So we are, I have to say, in quite the shock, and we have to see just what happens here. Perhaps this was like what we would call like a freak accident, but let's just hope that. This will not happen again, and yeah, we'll check out the beach. And finally, unemployment is going down rapidly, which is not perhaps does not come as a surprise, because Icelanders love to work. We are workaholics, and there are enough jobs in Iceland. There are more than enough jobs in Iceland to keep us occupied until the next century. That's why we have a lot of like workforces from other countries, because Icelanders are, I mean, we are not that many, so we need more power when it comes to it. Yes, the employment rate in October was 4.9%. Which is a bit high actually in Icelandic standards. We are often around 2 to 3%, but last months of course, because of COVID, it has been way up to 8%, which is absolutely 8 to 9%, which is absolutely huge. But the number of people out of work decreased by 428 people, which means a 4.4% decrease. from last September, and the total number of jobless people at the end of October was 10,000 people, out of which 5,000 were men and 4,000 were women, approximately. So, like, when it comes to economy, we are not doing bad, actually. We are fine when it comes to the economy. But of course, wow, the ducks here. This is a truly hidden pearl in Reykjavík area. We can also like go like up there to this island here to walk here. It's really nice. What do you say, Polly? More. So, this is it for the newscast today. My name is Valur Grettisson, of course, and I'm editor-in-chief at Reykjavík Grapevine, if I forgot to say that. We will be here again on Tuesday, unless I get COVID or anyone around me. I'm actually pretty optimistic that would not happen. Kids are incredible. They just don't transmit stuff, it seems. But we are actually getting a lot of sick children though now, which is concerning, but within margin right now. So, see you then. Enjoy the ducks.